It's been a long time coming doing reviews again, but I love making videos. So I'm going to make a bunch of them in a row. Starting with this very first one, a long overdue review of a MOC I made so fucking long ago it feels like forever. That sounds about right. This is my review of Origin, the origin form of my MOC Guardian. Basically, this is the Dominion form of Guardian. Like the second form. And then eventually I'll remake Tempest, like I didn't make it obvious enough in that stupid stop motion I made. So, yeah, this is Origin. Kinda different from what you expect. I basically turned him, and by proxy, Titan as well, into aliens. And these are their actual bodies. And what they normally look like are their spacesuits, which I think is a cool, like, subversive thing. Just like, oh, hey, why do they look like that? Oh, right, that's right. That's why they all look all blocky and blotchy and whatever. It's, I don't know. But before I get into, the actual... Oh, I'm using a white background, by the way. It's different. Making some things look a little bit different. Yeah, this, he looks very... I don't want to say buff, but he looks muscular. Like, his body looks a lot more tight than anything else I normally would make. And with the exception of Dominion, I think he has the same type of look. He's got a butt. Look at that butt. Look at that.
Don't forget the butthole.
Don't forget the butthole. Junie's here too, by the way. She's hanging out in the background. So yeah, we're gonna start off with the legs and the feet, as I normally do. So, looking at this, he has Crocs. Dude has Crocs. If you don't know what Crocs are, they're a brand of shoes in America that are made of rubber and they're really dumb. But this guy, his feet are actually crocodiles or alligators, whatever. I don't care for the difference all that much. These are pieces from, like, they're called riding cycle. They're old, like, Shima vehicles where a big tire would be in the middle right here. And they would launch them like Beyblades and they would just go pew. And I took a Q-tip and I tried to take as much of the printing off as I can. A majority of it is off. If I were to zoom in a little bit more, you could probably see it. And maybe in the pictures as well, you could see it. But, yeah, I don't know. They're not the best feet in the world, but I think it's a... Oh, and now his hip fell off.
Fatality number one.
Fatality number one. Oh, his other one fell off too.
Fatality number two.
Fatality number two.
You should put a counter. You should start putting counters in the top corner of your reviews of just how many times you fuck up.
It's not a bad idea. Well, moving up on to his lower legs. All system. Yeah. And you know what? It's not that distracting. I think it's smoother than a lot of the other stuff on this guy, but it's all system, and surprisingly enough, it's actually really well made. Like, it's durable enough to do what I want to do with it.
No, it's not.
It's not. I lied. It's
Fatality number three.
Fatality number 3. Never mind. His legs are made of system, so they're very... Yes. But if the leg can bend that much. So it's okay. It does what it needs to do for small, subtle poses. There's that. Also, his ankle can go side to side and a little bit... No, a lot of it in and out. So it's an all-around good ball joint. The design of the lower leg, in terms of the color blocking, what I had in mind for it, was an idea of like, okay, his leg is actually lime green, but there's this gray band here that goes around to the back. It can work that way. That's okay. I'd say alright. Upper legs are straight up Hero Factory armor. Nothing particularly crazy going on there. You can notice how that's built, but I'm going to take it off anyway. Yeah. That's that. And I should have done something that I did similar to Minion, to where I could have put like a lightsaber rod or an axle rod on the back of here, because there are white ones that are 4 long like this. So I could have put one back there, but I didn't bother. I don't know why. Let me move on to his hips, which, yeah, they fell off already. The hips fell off. It's very standard compared to what I normally do, because everything is always fragile nowadays. But there's still some range of motion there. You can move his leg out about that much. So it doesn't need to do the splits, but you can do that. Also, this hip just fell off. Yeah. There we go. In terms of moving the leg forward, it can go that far. It's about a 90-degree bend. Just about. And his leg can move back not all that much. Just by design. He looks very feminine in the hips because of the curves. And yeah, sure, a lot of my MOCs look feminine now. Weird, right? Totally? Weird? Weird.
Don't be weird.
Don't be weird.
Stop being weird.
Stop being weird. But again, like, this is a good combination of Technic and system. I like all the little bits of gray slopes in here. Like, I like the way that all looks.
You're being weird.
Chest. If I remember correctly, it's a lot. It's a lot of like Technic beams put in here, and then a lot of system put on top of that. This little hexagonal piece here, that's a sticker. And then a dude, I forget who it was in one of the comments, said that, hey man, Hero Factory chest plate on the back, that makes him a Hero Factory dude, because he has a white hero core. No, it's just detail. I don't know. Like, if it were a Hero Factory guy, it would be on his chest, not on the back of him. Plus, if I wanted to just make that lime green and make this whole back piece, lime green, sure, I could have done that, but I didn't. I don't know. I think it worked well with the flow of the rest of the MOC. I think it looked nice. But the chest piece, lime green, Nuvik chest piece, a lot of system bits going on the shoulders up here. Focusing as best as I can. Yeah, I believe, yeah. There's a lot of stuff built into here. Like, there's little, Lego telephones put into there. Nice big ball joint. It's a really dense torso. And in fact, I think it's probably the most stable thing on this MOC, to be honest with you. Well, no, his head's alright. His head is okay. But we'll get to the head soon. Next, we go on to the hardest part of the MOC for me. And where I cheated probably the most in a very long time. So, I had the idea for this guy when I first concepted him in my mind. Like, I want to give him big dishes on his shoulders. Like, that would look really cool. And I had a hard time figuring out a way to do it. So, after a while, I decided, hey man, let's just make the upper arms, kind of system-based. So I can have them angled in a certain way to make them look good. And yeah, I know, there's a red ball joint there. Some people really hate that. Some people really hate that.
Grr.
Yes, I know, you hate that.
Why?
Because you can't see them, it's fine.
I can see it. Kind of like how I can see the red plus rod in his thigh.
Anyway. Yes. But these shoulder pads tend to fall off every now and again, depending on how you move them around. But the cheating that I've done, so, his elbow, it looks good, looks like a mixel ball joint, mixel eyeball used as a ball joint, and it's surprisingly sturdy. Like, I'm having a hard time really pulling it apart. I glued it. I glued the elbow. I glued the ball joint to a Lego piece. I should not have done that. And I did it in my head as like, okay, I'm using pieces that I have a lot of. I mean, mixel ball joints are kind of common, whatever. Oh, I mean, mixel eyeballs, I should say, not mixel joints. Obviously, a lot bigger than a mixel joint. But
Fatality number 4.
Fatality number 4. Okay, another fatality. Whatever, man. But yeah, I glued this elbow, and it works. I mean, it looks very nice, but if I twist the arm a certain way, the 4 system pieces that are wrapped around that particular system piece that holds all this together, it'll kind of twist off, and its entire upper arm will just fall apart. Let me see if I can try and enact that. See if I can do it. Oh, yeah, there we go. Yeah. There we are.
Fatality number 5.
Yeah. There it is. So yeah, that was dumb. But yeah, that's how the arm's connected. The lower arm is not my design. It isn't. It's made by some sort of bitch on YouTube. I don't know who. I haven't the slightest idea. But I stole her arm design. Because I thought it looked very nice. And also, I had a hard time making the arms for this guy. It took me like a month just to make him. when I built a majority of him in like a week, and the rest of the time trying to figure out how to make his arms. And so these arms are based off Toa Juni's Sir Talisman. And I modified some bits that work with him, like adding this little piece to the back of the arm, so it can just fill out some bits a little bit more. As well as using some, brand new semi-fancy system parts, where if I pull off his wrist, that would normally be a round 2x2 plate, but here it doesn't have any studs on it. It's a flat tile. So, hey, using some of those, using some fancy new pieces. And then his hands are the exact same hands as Guardian. I figured it was fitting. I don't know. But speaking of things that are fitting, his mask, his face. I shouldn't say his mask, because it's just a face. That's all it is. And people kept saying, like, oh man, he's like a Toa of air. I'm like, no, he isn't. He's just a dude that has a mask, has a face that looks like a mask.
Toa confirmed.
Toa confirmed. And I wanted to use it because I thought it'd be really goofy just to be like, yo, his chest is his face, and you flip it around, boom. It's actually his face. But it's cool. And you saw how I made the head there. I would have preferred to use some more translucent pieces to make his eyes really glow up. But no, I didn't necessarily bother. But yeah, there's the head. It's very simple, the way it's made. It's just a big, like, system block. Actually, in fact, like this silly-looking face here could actually be like an orc head. Like, if I made those, like, 2 different eyes, that would be the head of, like, an orc.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not a bad idea.
I don't know how you'd connect the neck, but yeah.
No, well, I guess you can make him like a hunchback.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had weapons in the slideshow. He had kind of a sword and shield thing. I'm not too happy with them. I'm not gonna include them in the review because I'm not particularly proud of them. But I don't know. He'll get weapons in time. So that's Origin. Yeah, this review is a mess. But I like the way he looks. He isn't the most stable, primarily because he is partly made out of system bits. There are some gappy stuffs to him. Again, there's cheating to him as well. But overall, like, having him on my shelf, he looks really nice. I love his silhouette. I like the physique that he has. So I'm proud of him in that regard. So yeah, this is Shadow Gear 655. I hope you all enjoyed. No. I hope you all enjoyed the review. And I'll see you folks another time. That wasn't me.